if we ever have a,
we're live.
there's Brad and Rhett. So, I was thinking, are we live? I was thinking about asking a question of our listeners. What are they going to expect their favorite watering holes to be like after this is all over?
That's interesting. I was starting to think that should be something we should start like talking about is as the vaccine starts getting out there, as people are starting to be able to go out again, do we want everything to go exactly back to the way it was? I don't think so. So what?
I don't know though. And I asked this for a specific question because Dan's probably going to sign a lease on a new place that we're going to probably we're going to take occupancy somewhere around the beginning of February and maybe open to the public in mid-March. So I asked this for a reason.
I mean, I think brewers serve beer to guests in bikini bottoms. I think that's a good start.
I want people to come back.
That's a fine discussion. Find a way to fit that in.
All right.
Eccles, read the intro to yourself and see if you... Foos as in fools.
Yes.
But it rhymes with brews.
Yes.
I didn't want you to be confused when you...
Understood.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Brad. Hey, Rhett. Good to see you guys.
Hey, what's up, Jeff McKinney?
Hey, Jeff McKinney. I don't think I'll change. There's some punctuation. When you add some punctuation, that sentence.
I don't think I'll change much that I like.
Make sure you change your underwear.
Yeah.
All right. All right. You guys ready? Shit.
Let's do this.
I am always ready. I have been ready since first call. Roll.
Damn it. I couldn't cut you off. Here we go.
At the sound of the tone, the official "We Like Drinking" time will be 5 o'clock. Commence consumption.
This week on episode 308 of the We Like Drinking podcast, we'll be discussing holiday gifts for booze hounds, all the news that we can fit into a segment that may not make it in the show, and we've got 3 foos drinking brews. So crack open that beer, uncork that wine, and let's get drinking!
Solid, man. That looks like a tropical Pepsi can that you held up there.
Yeah, man. Pre-gaming with some pre-diabetes.
Diabetes.
I gotta die of something. Diabetes.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the show before Christmas. So next week we'll have a show. That'll be the Christmas show. This week is the pre-Christmas show, I guess.
It's the Hanukkah show.
It's the Hanukkah.
I mean, by the time you hear it, if you download us every week, and bless your heart if you do, by the time y'all hear it at home, it won't be Hanukkah anymore. But just know, I lit the menorah tonight for show. Baruch atah Adonai, some other stuff.
So let's kick it off and say cheers, my podcast drinking friends, and welcome to Happy Hour 308 of your favorite award-winning topical beer and wine education podcast, focusing on fun and coughing uncontrollably. And
not this week. I hope.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
Staying upright is the goal.
So make sure you never miss another episode of our brand of drinking fun by visiting welikedrinking.com/subscribe. All right, let's subscribe. All right, let's get to this. Let's find out who we've got with us. We'll touch on what we're drinking in a little bit, but let's just see who we've got. We've got our usual panel members. We have our California Sustainable Wine Growing Ambassador and recovering wine blogger, Jeff Solomon.
Hey, shalom, everyone.
We have our commercial brewer and snake wrangler, John Ruyak.
Yeah, a little more live this week.
You sound so much better already. And I am your host and certified specialist of wine, Jeff Eccles. This week is our monthly drinking episode. And since we're back to more restrictions on what we can do and where we can go, we figured let's go back to the local brews to help support our friends in our local community. We took it to the Patreons. We gave them like 2 really shitty choices and then guilted them into voting for local brews because of lockdown. So they took the bait and went with it. And so that's what we're doing. All right. So it could be a plethora of stuff that we're drinking. Jeff, did you want to say something?
No, I was just giving a shaka to Rhett, who's watching live, as you ought to do every Tuesday night around 7:30-ish Pacific, because that's the only time zone that matters. At welikedrinking.com/show.
Shalom. I used to do that when I could ski down a hill. I used to.
I used to race the shalom.
So it should be interesting tonight. We may have several different kinds of beers. I'll be interested to hear the story behind why you chose what you chose. But let's start off with the guy going the hardest, John Ruyak.
So I am drinking an ale this evening. It is, however, a ginger ale from Canada Dry. Just the system has just not been cleared for alcohol consumption. But okay, so we do local beers, and I so want to drink a beer, but it's just not wise for me to do right now. But what I did do, I did buy some local beers today, and I went to a place that I haven't been to in quite a while. I went to Boxing Bear. If you follow our website from way back in the day, Jim Myers and I interviewed Kevin, who's one of the founders of Boxing Bear. Oh, Jesus, almost 7 years ago now. So, but they opened up a tap room kind of halfway between my house and Lizard Tail Brewing. So one of our young ladies went to go work there, and she's now like an assistant manager in the tap room or whatever. But I bought a 4-pack, and what was really cool is they broke up a bunch of 4-packs and made a 4-pack for me, which I thought was pretty neat. So I got all the heavy duty stuff that even if I was 100% healthy, I wouldn't be healthy tomorrow if I drank one. So I got their Scotch Rocket, which is looks like it's a Scottish 80, which is what I'm going to probably be kegging at Lizard Tail in about a week or so. And this one's 8.1%. And then I got they had they have a smoked porter coming out, but it wasn't available until Thursday. I'm like, bummer, because I wanted to get one each of this Scotch ale, that smoked porter, but I got 2 Russian Imperial Stouts, the Vanta Russian Imperial Stout, which I had last year, and I think I liked it, but it says 2020 on it, so they must have redone the recipe a little bit. This one's clocking in at an even double digits, 10.
Woo!
And then there is another one called now that's their dry Imperial Stout, the Russian, and then they have this other Imperial Stout called Drink the Rich, which is supposed to have a little more residual sugar, more of a dessert stout. So this one's gonna, when I get around to that. Oh, this one's 10 as well. But it's brewed with lactose, brown sugar, vanilla, and cocoa nibs.
I love the creativity afforded brewers, like just with the names. Drink the Rich. Come on. That's classic.
Don't you, oh, that was a song by Crocus way back at Eat the Rich. Crocus way back from the 70s. They're like like one of the original hair metal bands from like the mid to late 70s.
Oh yeah.
Crocus. Screaming in the night.
John,
Well,
we want you to make it through this episode.
yeah. So good to see that, John, once you recover, that you're going to hit the ground running.
For maybe like 3 sips, and I'm just gonna fall straight over because I haven't had a drop since Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Maybe by Christmas you'll be able to crack one of those open.
Next week for the Christmas show.
Rhett is joining us drinking a cranberry crumble sour from another brewing company up there in the BC of Canada. And Brad is joining with a Karate and the Garage double IPA from Hop Butcher for the world, 8% ABV. Jeff Solomon.
Hey, before I talk about my beers, Rhett, can you just let us know, in Canada, do they drink Canada Dry ginger ale, or is that kind of, and also everybody watching live, do you see like my cool, like Michael Jackson lock? I'm just going to leave that there.
It's not too sweet.
It's anything that they add sugar to is too sweet, but I'll give you a pass. I drink the ginger ale when my tummy has troubles as well. So, you know what I did? I as soon as I was done with work today, I drove down to a local barbecue spot that has like the inns with all the really good, just like cultish, localish breweries that have a good following, and a lot of barbecue joints, especially in the South Bay, have that same type of style going on there. So I go down to Barbecue 152 in beautiful Gilroy, California, and I know that they always have Promised Land available. So I did pick up a couple of the Promised Land Galaxy Rider Pale Ales. These are coming in at 6%. And I was kind of pre-gaming with this. And then in a moment, what I'm going to do, I wanted to represent 3 local breweries with just 2 beers. In a moment, I'm going to pour this collaboration. It's called Friends with Social Distances, from Altamont out of Livermore, California, and Alvarado Street out of, they have like a brew pub in downtown Monterey, but they're really from Salinas. This is a double IPA at 8%. And this is, they got the hop bill on the back, the malt bill. The bill is what they got. John likes the bills. 2-row malt, Citra in the kettle, and then dry hopped with Citra, Nelson, Sabro, and El Dorado hops. So I'll be pouring this into my official IPA glass in just a moment. Yeah.
So if they're in Salina, so when people
Salina, Salinas, man.
Salinas. So when people are done with their bomber cans, do you take it to the fish canning company and they put sardines in the beer cans?
Oh, dude, they should. I wouldn't pass it. Salinas is a pretty awesome place.
I've been to Salinas.
Oh yeah. Don't be, dude. If your car breaks down in Salinas and you call it Salina, you're fucked.
You're not getting out. So I went back to Pikes Peak Brewing to grab my beer this week. And, if you didn't see on Instagram, we got a lot of the white stuff last night.
A little booger sugar.
Yeah, a little booger sugar fell all over my driveway that I had so much that I had to get the snowblower out.
Hey, man, in this economy, I understand. It's okay.
So, John, I don't know if you've had this one, but I went with the Adaman from Pikes Peak Brewing. This is their holiday ale. This is a cool beer. This one's made with cinnamon, ginger, orange peel, and local honey. But Jeff Solomon, do you have any idea what Adaman is?
This is a cool story.
It sounds like it's short for like these guys are really big fans of Adam and the Ants. I think that's.
No, I'm impressed that
Drank so much beer this one night at an Adam and the Ants concert. I was like, Adam, man, play another.
So if you're watching, you can see the label. I'm impressed that they did this correctly. All the A's, it's one word, ADAMAN, but it's pronounced Ad-a-man.
Is it like short for adamantium claws, like the Wolverine?
So you'll notice that every A is capitalized, and that's Pikes Peak Brewery. They like to really pull in local things into the name of their brews. So all the A's are capitalized to look like a peak of a mountain, and we have Pikes Peak here. So in 1922, 5 guys decided on December 30th that they would climb to the top of Pikes Peak, up to the 14,110 foot summit. It took them a couple days to get up there. And so from 1922 on, they've done this every single year. And part of their group is that every year they will add one member to their group. So they will add a man to their group. They're up to about 30 people or so. They bring guests. They leave on the 30th from Bars Trail Trailhead. They camp overnight, get up and finish it off. We're talking 50 degrees below zero wind chill to get up there. And then they set up, and at midnight on New Year's Eve, they launch an epic fireworks display off the top of the mountain that can be seen for like hundreds of miles because they're launching it
and all the way around. I used to live on the back of Pikes Peak, but you can see that's just a cool story.
It's really cool. It's a really cool thing that they do every year. They're making a documentary on it because they're coming up on their 100th anniversary of doing it. But yeah, every year I watch it from my house.
Yeah. But, and you have to do it in the wintertime because you'd want that extra water in the forest from the snow because
I was gonna
lighting
say,
up fireworks from the top of Pikes Peak, and
don't let it end like a California gender reveal party.
Right.
In California, we're very obsessed over whether or not a fetus has a dick or not. So.
You guys seem to be. So yeah, it's a cool thing that they do every year. It's a cool tradition that we have here, and it's cool that they have this November and December only that they release this tasty little beverage. So that's what I'll be drinking tonight. 8.5% on these 32 ounces that I'll be taking in.
Nice. Interesting that you got all that snow because we got a friend who lives in Stetson Hills and they got nothing.
Yeah. I'm sure. My house is a freaking magnet for this stuff. Look at that color, Jeff.
Look at this collab, and this is what I like because Alvarado Street. If you've ever had their beers, whether it says it or not, they're almost always hazy. And Altamont just will not know. They're like, fuck no, not going to be hazy. And I would imagine there were some battles here when I was going to pour this. I'm like, is it going to be hazy? I don't know. How are they going to be friends if it's hazy? But yeah, clear as a bell and on the nose.
Lori says it's good to see you feeling better, John.
I do feel better, Lori. Thank you.
Very West Coastian, very citrusy, very piney, and on the palate. Double citrusy, double piney. I would imagine they use some malts in this as well.
Imagine a couple.
At least 2 rows of malts.
Yeah, nicely done.
This one's pretty dark. They call it a crimson ale. It's got you get some of that cinnamon. I get a little bit of the honey coming through on it. The ginger. It's all there. It's very much a holiday ale. It's quite tasty. I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
They didn't add any clover to the crimson ale.
No.
Crimson.
Or the Jimmy Eat World version. Crimson and Clover.
Hey guys, I got to take a TO for a second here because Rhett just let us know that he passed the tasting portion of his WSET 3 and missed the written by less than 9%. That 9%. So,
Yeah, bro, that's awesome.
Good job. Good job. Good to hear that for you, brother. I know you've been waiting for that for a while, so I'm glad to hear it came through.
I'm glad you're kicking ass at that, and and last week we totally lambasted all of like wine education.
So the rewrites in March. You got this, brother.
Go get it, man. At this point, it's there. You know what I mean?
Just gotta push it over the edge with a little bit of alcohol.
And you know what I love? Like as a teacher, honestly, it's like when there's that one thing, it's like, fuck, I know I wrote the wrong thing. I know this is what the answer is. It's like, you're never going to miss that one again. Like you got this, dude. Go get that shit.
All right. Yeah. All right. Well,
all right. Just demonetize this whole episode. Sorry, YouTube.
Let's Jeff Solomon. Let's help Rhett out. Let's let him study while he watches with a little bit we like to call
wine, beer, spirit, or pop culture reference. This is where I'm going to give the panel and the fine folks watching live, as you ought to do every Tuesday night around 7:30-ish, maybe a.m., who knows, at welikedrinking.com/show. I'm going to give y'all a term, and you have to tell me, is this a wine term, a beer term, a spirit term, or some sort of pop culture reference? The term this week is leche. Hey, thanks for cutting me off, dude. Appreciate that.
Oh.
Leche de Tigre.
Oh.
Fucking, you thought I was going to stop at leche?
Obviously, I did.
Well,
what?
Leche de Tigre.
All right, make sure I put it in the show notes, would you? Oh, people are already guessing, I think.
Yeah, I and do this at the same time. So I'm going to go with John Ruyak first. Leche de Tigre.
Well, I mean, it translates to tiger milk, and isn't that like a
protein shake?
Like a protein shake, like guys that are pumping iron drink tiger milk. It's like Ensure for gym rats. So that's almost too obvious. So, Leche de Tigre. I'm going to say it's some sort of like rite of passage booze from Peru or something like that. So I'm going to say it's a spirit. All the guys, you're in college in Peru, you're at like 12,000 feet and everybody's like, slam those shots of Leche de Tigre.
John Ruyak.
And then climb Machu Picchu.
John Ruyak says Leche de Tigre is a Peruvian spirit full of machismo. Am I getting that right?
Okay. There you go. Yeah, you got to climb Machu Picchu after you get hammered on a couple of shots of Leche de Tigre.
Lori Budd of Dracena Wines out of Paso Robles says milk emphatically. And I'd imagine if all you heard was leche, that would be correct. Leche de Tigre.
I don't know where to go with this. Solomon is fighting the giggles and the smile so hard. So this is going to be I don't even know what he's going to do with it. Part of me wants to go where Lori is going. She says it's pop culture as the Spanish version of the Tiger King. Brad is lining up behind John for this one. Leyte de Tigre. This is going to be okay. This is going to be a pop culture reference, and this is going. I am also going foreign country. This is going to be some kind of crazy sports reference in some kind of fantasy league that Solomon just got into for cricket or bullfighting or something. That he drafted him first in the Tigre draft of something he just started.
Jeff Eccles says I drafted Charlie Sheen in the first round of the International Fantasy Cricket League of Nations.
Yes.
Here's what's great. I love this. I love how wrong people can be and then right at the exact same time. So obviously, Leyte de Tigre, and I'm glad you didn't ask me how to spell it because I didn't feel like spelling it for you. Leyte de Tigre does translate. It's Spanish for tiger's milk. And yeah, there used to be those protein bars. Maybe they still exist. Tiger's milk, and maybe some of you thought that this had to do with how we're doing a weight loss competition on the show. No, that's not what it is. Leyte de Tigre has origins in Peru.
Oh.
Leyte de Tigre is the name for the citrus-based marinade that is used to make a traditional shrimp ceviche. And if you're a real baller, after you order that ceviche and you eat that shit, you drink the Leyte de Tigre at the end. Leyte de Tigre! It's a pop culture reference.
I love cutting off Solomon.
That was funny as shit. Oh, I like ceviche.
Milk.
All right. Let's see. I think.
By the way, one of the best pop punk albums to come out of, I'll call it 1995, is No Use for a Name's Leche con Carne. Wonderful album. And they're from San Jose. There's some chill dudes from San Jose. So there you go.
Milk with meat.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Tony Sly. Jimbo Phillips did the artwork for that cover. Good shit. Good shit.
Jimbo Phillips, is he like a football coach?
I'm sure there's who could believe somebody named Jim Phillips probably played football? I'm sure that's possible.
I meant Jimbo.
I loved when there was a point in the NFL where there were probably 3 dudes in the Pro Bowl at the same time named Steve Smith. It was so great.
And there was probably 3 Jimbos coaching them or playing.
3 Jimbo Phillips. Jimbo Phillips is Jim Phillips' son, by the
way. Yes, Lori. Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since he named something in his room.
All right. So,
yeah, my room smells like acid cooked fish
and tiger's milk.
Yeah,
it's been a weird Hanukkah for Jeff.
Shit gets wild around Hanukkah. That's for real. You don't want to lose dreidel at my house.
All right. So since it is
dreidel down, you know where it's been.
Why is the one no?
Moving on. We've done this in the past. We want to do it again this year. There are probably going to be some repeats on the list this week, but you may be struggling to find that the drinker in your life, just the right gift for the holidays. So don't worry. The three idiots on We Like Drinking are here to save your holidays.
By the way, these things may or may not be on our website, but if you go to welikedrinking.com/affiliates and click through, maybe send up some scratch as you order some shit.
We might get a few pennies. That would be awesome.
Send some gelt over here. Gibble, hey.
So I guess, we did no preparation for this whatsoever. We didn't say how we're gonna do it.
I prepared.
No, I mean,
a big list of preparations. Preparation
did
A, preparation B, preparation H, all the way down to preparation H.
We didn't plan like if we're going to do it by cost, by whatever.
My shit's a mishmash.
Excellent. So let's start with you then, Jeff Solomon. What's one or two of your gifts for drinkers?
Top of the dome. Gifts for drinkers. And this runs the gamut. Is this somebody that's really close to you? Is this somebody that's just a friend? And you're like, I was thinking about it. Maybe I'll get them something. I've got quite a few ideas here. And oddly enough, gifts for drinkers. The first thing that I put on my list was a gift card to one of your favorite restaurants. Like, I just think that's like any drinker, like, wouldn't they love that? Like, wouldn't they just love like some food? Obviously from an establishment that might focus on like drinks, especially, during the COVID era, are these places that also will package up cocktails to go as well.
Mm-hmm.
But seriously, I don't think I've ever looked at a gift card for food and been like, oh, fuck you, man. So I think that's got to be number one on the list for me. Gotta be.
That's a good one. And even, we had a birthday in the family in a different state this week, and we sent them dinner. I mean, it's more feasible these days to just like, hey, we got your dinner tonight. Here you go. So yeah, I think that's a really good idea, Jeff.
So yeah. Uber Eats from Colorado to Iowa. Wouldn't it be a little cold by the time it got there?
No, man, it's great. You just call the restaurant up in town, or you order it. It's
a whole thing.
It's a whole thing now. Lori says she'll give us 10% of sales. So everybody, Dracaena Wines, go buy it all.
Yeah. In the notes, right? Jeff sent me.
The Jeffs. They're Cab Franc, though.
Yeah.
Fucking delicious.
Yes.
What's the matter with you? You don't like rosé?
No, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, like, for those of you that, if you like rosé, go Dracaena Wines. They got some good rosé, too.
Yeah.
From the creators of Cab Franc Day.
That's right. Hashtag Cab Franc Day.
Yeah. Which just happened, apparently.
Yeah. Yes. John, what's one of your favorites?
I've been steering clear of buying people alcohol directly. I will bring it as a gift for like a dinner party when and if we have those things, but actually giving it as a gift, I've been kind of steering clear of that kind of thing. Just because people's tastes are pretty particular. So, if I'm bringing a wine over to a dinner party, shit, I'm just going to open it and drink it myself, right? Because it's something that I like.
Right.
But we've turned on a couple of people to repours in the last. So I'm more of a gadget giver as far as drinking goes. So but repours have been kind of a hit with some of the people that we've like referred them to. So actually, if you wanted to, affiliates, but share the love or share the real utility of that particular thing, that people are still real unaware of that stuff, and like, whoa, these things really work. So we've gotten some good feedback from people that we've turned them on to that, and actually we've sent bottles home in the past when we've had people over for dinner and stuff, and they're like, whoa, I had that wine a week later and it was still great. So
yep, Report was number one on my list as well, and especially because you can get a bunch of them, and they're great stocking stuffers. They're great little gifts for a lot of people. Yeah, that's a top one on my list for wine drinkers out there. You're muted, Jeff.
That's the problem. I feel like we would be remiss if we did not say to those who didn't know, Rapport is, I know this sounds weird, a one-time use bottle stopper that will chemically remove the oxygen from your bottle of wine throughout the duration of you drinking that bottle of wine. It is the best preservative wine stopper on the market. Eccles, is it better than the wine diaphragm?
It is better than the wine diaphragm.
That's all you need to know. I mean, I feel like we had the folks from Rapport on the show before. I feel like I forgot to tell them how to run their business, but that should be the tagline: better than the wine diaphragm. It's literally the best wine stopper that you can get. Like
yeah, I thought what were those wine diaphragms called?
I think they were called the wine. I like that it came with a plastic fork that you could use to shove it in and then to pull it out afterwards.
Yeah.
And then you fucking put some meatballs on it, throw it on the barbecue,
and let it melt into the meat. Yeah, that's
right. Yeah. I thought those things worked okay for a day or two.
They're okay. They're okay. But the Report is legit.
Yeah.
I did a bottle for 6 months, and it was like freshly open. They're a phenomenal little gift to get, and you get them for $1. All right, Jeff Solomon, what's another one on your list?
I was going to say, I see that our buddy Rhett in the chat at welikedrinking.com/show was talking about, he talked about his favorite screw pull, his favorite corkscrew, the screw pull, but literally just a regular waiter's 2-stage corkscrew. I think that's something that you'd be surprised how many people don't have just a good quality corkscrew that's not gimmicky, and those of us that have one, we always want more because shit gets set aside in different places at house parties. And I'm sorry, when I open up, do you guys have a wine gadget drawer at your house?
Absolutely.
When you open up the wine gadget drawer, it should be overwhelmed with waiters corkscrews, so people don't go digging for the fucking the rabbit or whatever. That's the one that you buy from the adult bookstore for the Target version of the rabbit. Like all that shit, that's all garbage, dude. Like, and I know some people, they're like, that's the only way I know how to open wine. If that's it, then that's fine. But a waiter's corkscrew is really, it's the shit. And I will also say,
our pampered chef rabbit works.
I would also suggest, don't get me started on the fucking pampered chef. My wife goes, look at this thing. I'm like, what the fuck is that? It looked like a weapon, like if I were a Roman gladiator. She's like, you use this to break up ground meat when you're sauteing it. And I'm like, oh wow, that's crazy. So it's all the functionality of a wooden spoon.
With 3 times the storage space required.
3 times the storage space and 10 times the risk of killing somebody. But I will say also, just on top of that, like a personalized waiter's corkscrew, right? Like I saw this, I thought of you. I think that shit works. And I will also say, on the personalized game, I asked Kara what are some of her favorite, booze related items. She said she loves trinkets, but in general, she said, I really like cute insulated wine tumblers and personalized ones with lids that you can put on. Like, chicks dig it, bro.
Yeah, a friend of mine got one for Marcy, and she's like, you put that up too high. That needs to be lower because I need to be able to have access to it easier. So yeah,
especially when you're taking the kids for a walk, like
that's right. And if you're looking at the corkscrew, make sure you get the 2-stage or the hinge. That's necessity. But maybe if they've got several of them, but they don't have an ASO and they're really into wine, maybe throw an ASO on the list as well. This is, if you're looking at somebody that's open up older wines, or even if they want to look baller, an ASO wouldn't be a bad thing to add to the list.
I actually saved the day. I had to do some cork surgery the other day. I went in with a regular corkscrew, started to pull it out, and the cork was like super dry and falling apart. I stopped right there. I said, wait, everybody, hold up. I removed the corkscrew, and then I hit the shit with some pressurized air to like blow any cork dust out of the way. Went in with the ASO, got that shit out whole, and then just because I had the pressurized air, hit it again just to make sure there was no corky corkerson left over. And maybe I got high off of the fumes. Who knows? But then, beautiful, like a baller ass wine. It was a 2-year-old wine, and I need to pull out the ASO. But I'll tell you what. And so for those who are like, what's an ASO? It's the corkscrew where it's like 2 flat prongs that you wiggle down along the side of the cork, and then you hug the cork on the way out. It's definitely a necessity for older wines. And dare I say, just to be safe, if the wine's older than 5 years, just fucking use an ASO. It doesn't take that much more effort, and you're going to guarantee you don't need to come back in with the pressurized air later on, unless you're like really into like graffiti culture.
John Riak, what's something else on your list?
This might seem really mundane, but it would really probably be appreciated by people that like their tablecloths, but nice wine coasters, so you're not leaving red rings on your nice tablecloth and spending $80 on getting them dry cleaned.
Yeah.
So nice wine coasters, I think, are a really functional gift, and people appreciate having more. We only have one, but if you've got a couple of wines open with, you've got 4 or 5 people over, I mean, having 3 or 4 wine coasters is a necessity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another good one. And this one's a little bit more difficult, and I may get some pushback on this one. And this would be for somebody that a little bit better. You have an idea of what their inventory is like. But an upgraded set of glasses can be a really nice gift. Some Riedels, some Zaltos, like the Zalto glasses are freaking beautiful. So I think that would be a nice gift for somebody. But you kind of got to know like where they're at. If they've already got 100 glasses, obviously they don't need something like that. But if you're drinking with them and you notice they just got some regular glasses, which are fine, maybe upgrade them a little bit to let them go baller again. Jeff, yes.
Hold up. Somebody that has 100 wine glasses really likes wine glasses, and they're never going to turn down another one. And dare I say, and I hate to be ageist here, but it's usually like older folks. If you go to a house and they go to pour a wine, and it's just like this super like thick glass with like all this embellished like crystal on the bottom, and the glass is so heavy that you could dent a car with it. Please, like, show them the love of like a nice, like, delicate, fine, big bulbed wine glass, and you know, talk to them about, you know, fucking stepping it up. Because like the thing is, like, usually they bring out those glasses because they were super expensive, and it's like, but here's some super expensive glasses that can also like allow you to enjoy your wine a little bit more. I think that, you know, I would say just go for it. You don't need to know about that. Look, like, just go for it. Like, don't feel, if they got a huge wine glass collection, they can always take another one. Yes, Jeff Eccles.
And this is not just for wine. If you've got beer drinkers in your life, if they don't have an IPA glass, get them an IPA glass. If they don't have, you know, there's a lot of different. And I'm gonna go kind of counterintuitive on this. I only think you need 2, maybe 3 types of wine glasses. You need a white wine glass, a red wine glass, and that's kind of debatable. And then
a stemless,
and a
stemless, a flute. Okay,
bowl. You know what? Flutes are for mimosas. I prefer my champagne in a bowl.
I do too, but there's that celebrate when you have that little celebration one to have. It's not
and true. No, you know what it is when you whip out the nice champagne around like a whole lot of people. You give them the flutes, and then you have the bulb.
Yeah.
And up. It's your glass is full. Then it goes down to like this, and your glass is full because you got the bowl.
But I see our pal. I'm sorry, Eccles. Go ahead.
But with beer glasses, you know, you've got like this one that I've got. I don't even know what type this is.
That's called a Stella Artois. That's what.
Yeah, like Stella Artois type ones. You've got the short little stout one. You know, the stout ones.
The tulip.
The tulip. You've got the Pilsner glass. I mean, you can go
Imperial pints. Yeah, I mean, not to mention all the spirit type of glassware you can get for you know, snifters for brandy, little cups for cordials. I mean, little cordial cups. There's all kinds of stuff you can get glassware. You know.
So there's a lot that you can go in that route. And that's why I was saying, Jeff, that you kind of need to know the person to kind of know where you can get something for them.
I think what you do is you go, do you like the We Like Drinking podcast? And they go, yeah. And you go, here. And you just get them what you think they would like. You know, I see our buddy Red is saying stemless is great for a night with yourself. I will tell you, stemless is great for a backyard barbecue. Mm-hmm. Stemless is great for just social distancing, entertaining friends, especially outside, because a good gust of wind, even like my IPA glass, I won't bring that outside just because it's top heavy. But Rhett had mentioned something else. We like drinking coasters.
Look at this fat neck I got right here.
Ooh, and on top of that, one of my favorite drinking vessels is the We Like Drinking coffee mug. We have t-shirts too, but I have to say, like, day in, day out, what We Like Drinking product am I most likely to use? It is the official We Like Drinking coffee mug. I don't even know if they're available. I don't think you can get them anywhere. Can you get them anywhere?
They're available at WeLikeDrinking.com/shop or
mug.
One or the other. It's shop or store.
If you go to WeLikeDrinking.com, fucking poke around and you'll get there.
And if you do, get the 15-ouncer. It's
yeah, you gotta get
so much more worth it. Don't
mess around with that 12-ounce.
10-ounce mug. Don't do it.
All right, one more from each of you. John, what's your next best, or quickly run through everything else you got?
No, you know what? I'm gonna harken back to last year, but
yes.
This people will open this and they will read it on Christmas and maybe have to finish it the next day, but they're going to get a chuckle out of it, and it's going to go on a place of honor on their bookshelf.
Yeah.
What is this for those listening at home? What are you talking about?
For those listening at home, I'm holding up, for those of you listening in your cars, it is the book, A Short History of Drunkenness by Mark Forsyth. We had him on the show 2 years ago. Just a real peach of a person, and we had a whole lot of fun, and his writing style is very English and very funny, and it's really informative. You think the youth of today is messed up? You got to read this book.
We'll never look at Egypt the same.
Same again.
Ever. Yeah, and John, that is a great one. That is you can get that from our affiliate link, and that is a book that people will not know how much they like it until they read it. Jeff,
I will say, okay. Ruyak mentioned this earlier, and I kind of alluded to this earlier. He was able to go to a local brewery and get like a mix and match 4-pack of beers. I think what would be really fun is, especially if you just have like a beer lover in mind, I don't think you could really go wrong as long as you're opting for variety, unless you know exactly what they like. As long as you're opting for variety, you fucking drive around from one brewery to another in your location, and you make mixed 4-packs from multiple breweries for all of the beer lovers in your life. They are all going to be stoked to the hella, right? You come visit me, you're like, hey bro, here's this West Coast mixed craft pack that I got for you. Like, I'd be so stoked on that. You fucking drive down to John Ruyak in Albuquerque, like, hey bro, here's some chili infused Russian Imperial stouts. You go up to Jeff Eccles, you're like, hey bro, here's some German lagers, and I think like anybody would be stoked on that. I think it'd just be fun, and it shows that you care. And like, here's the thing, as corny as it may sound sometimes, like gifts that somebody, like it's just evident from the get-go that they put that thought into it. Like, it really does mean a lot. And yes, of course I would like an Apple Watch, right? I'd like it more than anything else. Of course I would like that. But in the same respect, like, if you're not going to buy me an Apple Watch, I can put some fucking thought into it. Go give me some beers that you think I would like, right? Even if you're wrong, the fact that you thought about it, and like, I know you drove around to all these different places, right? And here's the key. You do that for all your friends. So it's not like you made a special trip just for Jeff. Do it for all your friends. Make a mix and match situation. Just fucking drop those things off, dude. People be so stoked.
Yeah,
stoked.
For sure. I had like a drink club membership, like whiskey club or wine club or beer club, but I like Jeff Solomon's idea so much more, especially if you're able to, especially for like your local friends, being able to keep it all local and give them, a 4-pack of crowlers or something like that from local spots. I think that's a really good idea, Jeff. All right. Nice job. That, I think, was our best Christmas gift or holiday gift list that we've ever done.
I would give us high marks for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty great.
Det Nerosid says they use their Norlin whiskey glasses all the time, whether they're clear ones or the veiled ones. Hey,
Det Nerosid, that's Disaronno on the rocks backwards. I figured it out.
So yeah, those are some great ideas. If you have other thoughts, let us know. Leave a review of the show and let us know what you think should be the best holiday gifts, or in the comments below if you're watching live on YouTube or if you're watching the replay later on. But we have to move on from the holidays to the hard-hitting booze news. We discuss interesting, noteworthy, or sometimes some pretty touching things. Not where the bad man touched you. But
oh God! Wow,
this is out of Massachusetts, and this is
you brought back some weird memories, bro. I don't know if we're gonna make it to the end of this segment.
If you need a moment, we understand. So this is coming out of Massachusetts. So this is a story about a gentleman that passed away from cancer 10 years ago. When his son was 15. And one of the last things he did before passing was he gave his sister a $10 bill, and he told her to use that money on his son's 21st birthday to buy him his first beer, because he wouldn't be able to do it. And his sister kept that specific $10 bill until his son turned 21. They took him out to a local bar and they bought him his father's favorite drink, a Bud Light. And he posted it on Instagram that, you know, he was still having his first beer with his dad. And of course, something like that went pretty viral. And then obviously Bud Light had to get involved, and they've sent him like cases of beer. And a lot of people were reaching out to him and saying, "Hey, what's your Venmo? We want to buy you a beer too." And he was like, no. And he asked anybody else that wanted to give him anything to give it to the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, which is what they're doing. So not a whole lot of news in that one, but just kind of a feel good, a little bit feel good kind of story. That way, it touched me a little bit in the general heart area.
You know, it's a wonderful, heartwarming story. I'm just really upset that, like, beforehand, Eccles goes, "Yeah, I got a booze news story." I'm like, "Don't tell me. Don't even tell me what it's about. Save it for on the air." We're all cracking wise, joking around, and then all of a sudden, Eccles goes, "Cancer," and I'm like, "Fuck!" And I'm on here laughing on the We Like Drinking .com/show feed right now, and everybody in the chat thinks I'm an asshole. Well, fuck you guys, man. Eccles fucking threw a curveball. Let me tell you something. That is super sweet. That is beautiful. That is wonderful. You know, I'm trying to think, like, what was the first beer I ever had with my dad? It probably was like a Coors Light or something like that. We were like at a restaurant. I had just turned 21. We had to pretend that the several years before then never happened. And I ordered a Coors Light. You know, I think that there is like this thing that is kind of you know, it's kind of magical, like this generational, like, you know, this coming of age thing. You get to the point where, you know, your parents have done the hard work of raising you, and then they do the hard work of dealing with you as an adult with no fear, which is a whole other story. But it is heartwarming, like, you know, father and son type of heartwarming stories. They always get me. They always make me well up a little bit, and that is sweet. Like, if I knew that I was gonna go, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I feel like that's something that I would want to leave for my kids. I would hope that whatever I did, I didn't inspire the world to want to buy my children a lifetime supply of Budweiser, but you know, I it's sweet. Like, real story. Let me tell you something. Aside from crying from laughter on this show, which I do all the time, I really did break up and start crying this morning when I saw like some of the first people getting vaccinated from COVID this morning. Like, this has been an emotional journey. And so I did just, I don't know. I felt it apropos that I share that with you right now. Like, you know, I just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, I think it's wonderful. I think that's magical. Fucking Budweiser. Oh.
John, you've done.
The nice thing is he got to pocket the other $8 and he could buy something else.
Of course, they went during happy hour, right? John, you know, because this is something that, you know, I'm sure Solomon does. I know I do. I look forward to that. I look forward to that time when I take, you know, my kids out. We go get a beer together. That seems like something that would be really fun and cool to do. So did you do anything like that? Or are we hyping this up too much?
You know, $10 for a Bud Light and like, yeah, happy hour. What did he do with the other $8? Or did he just, did he get hammered on 5 Bud Lights and not leave a tip?
Barker's like, you're not going to tip me? Come on.
He got the bucket of Corona.
He got the bucket, right. So, it depends on the kid.
Okay. Yeah, I can.
The first beer I had with my oldest, I think he was out in Gunnison, Colorado. And we went out we stayed in a hotel and he was living off campus. And I think we actually brewed beer and we sat around, he had a homebrew kit and we brewed beer in his backyard. And then, just drank a beer while we were, he was a senior in college. And for my other son, Patrick, he played hockey with us.
Yeah.
So, and so he might not have been 21 years old when I shared my first beer with him, but it was in a hockey locker room. So that, and my youngest, he doesn't really drink beer that much, but he did, when he turned 21, he went and he bought a 6-pack of IPA and he brought it back to his apartment and we called him up and he said, Dad, I'm drinking my first beer. And well, that's pretty cool. So, it depends on the kid. So, for this guy to think about that and give him a gift a couple of years later, even though your math didn't work out, you said he was 15 and then it was 10 years ago and then this other stuff. But anyway,
fucking liars.
Anyway, and that's a cool story. And we need more nice stories like that.
Yeah, we do. All right. Just real quick, Rhett says #WBC16 changed my life forever.
Oh, and Lori Schaefer, she shared a Schaefer with her dad. I had Schaefer one time. There was this guy who lived across the street from me, and we used to play baseball together occasionally. And he had a couple of Schaefers in the trunk of his car. They were like 90 degrees. He's like, come on, let's pop a couple of beers. I'm like, his name was John too. He's like, oh my God, I'm drinking a 90-degree beer.
Well, the great thing is you don't need
trunk of his car.
You don't need a corkscrew. You just like flick it, and then the cork just jumps out.
Schaefer. One beer to have when you're having more than one. Oh, yeah.
WBC 16. That was an awesome weekend. Like, we need to make WBC 21. I think it's in Oregon, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. We need to make that happen.
Depends on the time of the year, but
right, it's all over the place. But if we're talking, honestly, if we're talking about Schaefer beer at 90 degrees, it must be
Last call.
Last call.
last call. Time to clean house and lock the doors. I'm not sure why Jeff's delayed like he did.
I couldn't find that inside baseball, everybody. This stream yard that we use to stream to everybody. When Jeff does his little like wacky things, we all get this automatic mute, and it takes me forever to find where the mute on the screen is.
Because
I've got one on my mic that I use when I cough. You never hear me cough on the show, but when that shit happens, I gotta go. So it took a while.
You know what we do here, folks?
Last call.
Looking for a to help review. John Ruyak, folks, want to follow us on the social media platforms. How can they do so?
Well, there's a couple ways to do that, folks. There's Twitter. That's We Like Drinking 1, the numeral 1. On Instagram, it's We Like Drinking. And who knows what's going to happen if, the antitrust lawsuit goes through, so they have to break up Instagram and Facebook. But regardless of that, you could follow us on Instagram and Facebook on the tavern at welikedrinking.com/tavern. You have to ask to join, but we'll let you.
Jeff Solomon, if folks have some thoughts on the episode, where can they go to tell people about it?
Hey, man, go ahead and take a look at your phone. Scroll down at the podcast app that you are listening to our wonderful episode from. Fill in those 5 stars that you see and leave an honest comment about what your favorite booze-themed holiday gift is. Not to get, but to give. My favorite thing to give is a $2 gift certificate to a local tavern to get some happy hour PBR.
You want to know what's cool? During this episode, somebody ordered a coffee mug.
Oh, fuck yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Can I get a second?
Yes, go for it. And if you've done all that and you're looking to be want to do more, become an Uber supporter of the show by visiting welikedrinking.com/pledge to find out how, for as little as $1 a month, $1 a month, you can become a patron of the show. Help guide us into what we drink for our drinking episodes. You can get stickers, coasters that I'm showing, t-shirts. You can make us drink things, all kinds of stuff. Find out all the levels. Visit welikedrinking.com/pledge. Biggest bonus, you get the show on Wednesday instead of Friday.
That's pretty sweet. Can I ask y'all an honest question?
Mm-hmm.
Have any of you in the last couple of months said to yourself, oh, I'm driving by a Starbucks, I'm going to hit the drive-through, and then you pull up and you see that the line is insanely long and you just turn the F around?
Mm-hmm.
So that happens. And I'm just thinking, how many of our lovely podcast listeners find themselves waiting in that Starbucks drive-through line, making this big order, not just for them, but for everybody else that they wanted to impress. Oh, can I get you a latte? Right? And I think about how much you're tipping the folks that are working there, and gall darn it, they actually deserve more. But what I'm saying to you is, with all the time and money that you are spending there, if you just added a fraction to tip the podcast that allowed you to wait in that line, imagine how good you would feel afterwards.
Right? And I'll
welikedrinking.com/subscribe. Submit.
Pledge.
What is it?
Pledge. I'll piggyback on that. If you decide to wait in that line and you get up to the register, the window, and they're like, hey, the person in front of you and the 12 people before them bought your coffee. Do you want to buy the people behind you a coffee?
You go, nah, fuck it. I'm good.
No, I'm going to send that money to We Like Drinking. Thanks, bitches. And you just drive away.
Skeet skirt.
You break the chain and you give us a latte. I think that's a good idea.
You're driving your grandfathered in 1957 Dodge Dart, just fucking shooting exhaust into their window, like, fuck the world, woo!
We like drinking.com/.
We're rolling coal in the drive-thru at Starbucks.
Oh, I love drinking episodes. You can also find the show notes for this episode with all the links to the stories or mentions we had at welikedrinking.com/episodes. All right. We accomplished a lot tonight, but we've reached the time of the show where I get to say, okay, panel, let's take one last trip around the table and get some final thoughts before we shut off the lights. John Ruyak.
All right, folks. All your friends know you listen to this show, right?
Yep.
Because you've told them.
Yep.
And they don't listen to you because they're not listening. So you need to do a better job. But regardless of that, they know that you listen to the We Like Drinking podcast. And they probably think those people probably would give some pretty good gift ideas for the drinker in their lives. So the pressure's on, folks. You need to really step it up and really ace those gift giving things that are coming up here in the next couple of 10 days or whatever it is. So yeah, no excuses, folks. You need to step it up. Step up that gift giving game.
Pressure's on. Jeff Solomon.
You know who's stepping up in life? Dave Grohl.
Yes.
Dave Grohl is stepping up. I have been having so much fun. He's not Jewish, but his producer friend is. And his producer friend, and I'm sorry because I can't remember his name. It doesn't matter. Just look up Dave Grohl Hanukkah. And he and his producer friends, it's just Dave singing and playing drums and his producer buddy playing synthesizers, many at the same time. And one night after another to celebrate Hanukkah, they are doing these beautiful covers of songs by Jewish artists. Do you like the Beastie Boys? Do you like Bob Dylan? Do you like Drake? Do you like Peaches? I like Peaches.
I like Peaches.
Go do yourself a favor and just type in YouTube Grohl Hanukkah. You're gonna have a fucking wonderful time. Some fucking mountain, Mississippi Queen. It's awesome. All right.
And with that, I'll say thanks again for joining us at the We Like Drinking podcast.
Where you'll never drink alone.
I'm really curious if those watching on YouTube punch their cameras when we do that too, or not cameras, but their monitors. If you do it with us, let us know in the comments, in the chat.
I think you're getting a resounding no.
All right. Fun one.
You see what Rat wrote. Sucking on my like you wanted me, calling me all the time. Like Blondie, check out my cushy behind it's fine all of the time. Like what else is in the teachers of peaches? Oh yeah.
All of the peaches. All right. That was awesome. Viewers, hope you can come back next week. I totally understand if you can't because it's going to be December 22nd when we record. Jeff, did you have something to add?
No, I'm trying to bring my camera into focus.
Oh, I think it's because you got ink on your hand. It's jacking it all.
No. I used my hand to bring it back.
No, I think it's the ink.
It was no. Fuck you.
No.
She was out of focus. I went, bring it back.
Trying to get you to look at the ink spot on your hand.
I see the ink spot. You think it's ink. It's actually a booger.
Brad doesn't do the punch, but he might try it next week. That's fantastic.
You'll feel better for it, Brad.
It really lets you get closure to the episode. Next week, we're going to record Tuesday night. That gives us enough time before the big day. And I have no idea what we're going to do next week. Jeff Solomon will probably just blow on his hair the whole episode. John may actually be drinking something next week.
This is my goal.
Viewers, that was awesome seeing you all tonight. Thank you guys for showing up. We'll talk to you next week, we hope, or sooner if you become a Patreon.
Bye, everybody.